Today, we're diving into the nitty-gritty of getting power from your van's roof to the inside. Whether it's for solar panels, Starlink, lights, or that sweet electric awning, we've got you covered with the best ways to run those wires safely and cleanly. We'll show you how to make it sleek and functional with the option to add more wires later. Stick around for some game-changing tips.
So in this video, I'm going to be talking about different ways to get wires from your roof down into the van. Now, if you're familiar at all with van building, you're probably familiar with these roof glands. These are a plastic, and usually these are called solar glands or roof glands. So what you do is you drill a hole in the roof about 1 inch in diameter, and then you run your positive and negative solar wires through this and down through the roof. And then you tighten these down, and they have a little rubber waterproof thing that tightens up and seals them off. And they do a good job of sealing. They'd always be facing forward, so water's not going to be going, this way, it's coming this way. But I have had 2 of these fail. One where the wires connected to it got pulled and it cracked this, and then they had a leak down into the ceiling of the van. And then another one, if you'll notice, this does not have any holes. Some of them come with holes pre-drilled and some of them don't. So we had one like this, didn't have any holes. Our guy that was installing it, because there weren't any holes, just used butyl tape and lap sealant, put it down, and over time it worked its way loose, and that one leaked as well. So we do not use these at all. If you are going to use these, and I highly recommend, even if it doesn't have any holes, put 3 or 4 screws in here to screw it down to make sure that it's really well attached. But there's such better options that we really don't use these at all anymore. So these are the glands that we've gone to, and I will link to everything I'm talking about down in the description, and I'll also put a link to these right up here, and so you can check these out. But I really like these. This one is for a single wire. So this would be like, let's say that you already have your solar wires going down through the van, but you're adding a Starlink or you're adding a light bar, and you just need to get one wire down into the van. This is a great one right here, single one. Okay, but the one our kind of go-to is this one, and we are able to put like up to, I've put as many as 6 wires through here. So here's how this one works. When you get it, you just undo these screws, and these 4 screws just are holding the housing on top into the mounting plate. Okay, so I'm going to remove those. So once you've loosened the screws, you can remove this. So this is the mounting plate that's going to go on the roof, and it comes with this little gasket. So what you're going to do is we drill 2 holes. You put this up on the roof, trace it out with a Sharpie, and then put like a 3/4 inch hole on each end, and then with a jigsaw just make the oval. Okay, so just cut out the oval to match this opening. Okay, then you're just going to screw this into the roof with the 4 screws. Okay, and now, so that's now mounted on the roof of your van. It's got this gasket. You don't need to do any more to seal it than just that. Then it comes with this top housing, and it has this thing, this housing, and then it has this rubber bung. And this bung doesn't have any holes in it, but what you do is you drill out the holes for your wires. Usually we're using like a 1/4 inch drill bit and just go through this, and I'll kind of put it in the housing and figure out where I want them to go, and you can kind of lay out the wires. And like I said, we've done as many as 6 or 7. I'll put a picture, drop a picture in of a van that we did that had some pretty sophisticated communications, and it had a GPS antenna and a couple of different cellular antennas and different things. I think it had 6 or 7 wires, and we use that in here. So you kind of space these out, and you want to leave like a 1/4 inch in between each hole. So depending how many you have, you'll just drill those out. So for most of them, you can just put a little dish soap on the wire and just push it through and just pull it through. But sometimes you'll have a wire that has a fitting on the end, like for example, Starlink. It might have a USB-C cable on the end or some other kind of fitting. So what we do in that case is you can just slit this with a razor knife. So if we have, let's just say we have 4 or 5 wires that I can push through, I'll just drill the holes out there. And then on the end, I'll do the one for the Starlink, and then I'll drill the hole and then I'll slit it so that I can open it up and put the wire in, okay? And if you have more than that, you can slit it further down. I try not to slit it unless I have to, but we have not had any problems with it leaking even when you slit it. Because what happens is then you're gonna have this mounted on your roof, right? And then you're gonna feed all your wires down through this one, and then down through this housing, and then this is gonna sit on top of it. So let me back up. One important thing to remember is before you feed all the wires through the bung, you wanna feed them all through this, because this is gonna go down on top. So feed all the wires through here, put that back out of the way. Then you're gonna feed them all down through the rubber bung. A little tip, you can stick this in the freezer for a few hours and it'll be a lot easier to drill. We found that that helps a lot because it's kind of soft rubber and is a little bit hard to drill through. So then once you've got all your wires fed through that, you set that on top, you set this housing on top, and then when you screw it in, it actually compresses this bung. The inside of this housing is kind of tapered, and what it does is it kind of squeezes this bung and against the wires and seals them off. Now you can always put a little sealant on top of those just for a little bit of extra insurance, but we found that just this guy by itself does a great job of sealing your wires. We've never had a leak on one of these. Now, what happens if you have more than 6 or 7 wires and you can't fit all of them into this gland? Well, you could use 2 of these. That's fine. But there's a product that we recently found that one of our customers told us about, and we've now used it on this van behind me, and we're using on another one coming up. Actually, a lot of our builds coming up will be using this because you can put really unlimited number of wires down through this one. And it's very convenient if you ever need to add more wires in the future. It's really simple and easy. This van behind me has got 2 wires for the electric awning. It's got 6 lights going around the van. It's got a light bar. It's got the solar. It's got a Starlink Mini. So this thing has a lot of wires. I think I counted up like 10 or 11 wires that are coming down from the roof down into the van. Now, like I said, we could use 2 of these, but I'm going to take you up on the roof. I'm going to show you this new product that we're now using when we have more than 6 or 7 wires going through the roof.
Hey guys, are you a DIY van builder? That's how we started, and we love to support the DIY community. So we've created some resources that have helped in our journey, and we've made them available to you. We've got a free spreadsheet with all of the materials we use in our conversions. That's taken hundreds of hours to research and that we've tested and proven out. We have a download with the van build sequence that we use in all of our conversions. Plus, we've got other products on our website that tons of DIY builders have found helpful. Check out the links in description below for more details.
Okay, so here we are up on the roof, and you can see this guy right here. So this box, it's just the right size to sit in between these ribs on a Sprinter. And you can see it's got like 1.5 inch hole going down through the middle with a piece of conduit. It comes with a conduit that feeds it down through. But it's got all these little different bungs, different sizes that you can put in here and sit in here, and then this guy will just go on top and screw down and seal everything off. So the way that we install this is we just put some Sikaflex all the way around the hole and around the outside of this box. We put it down. You can see we've got it all sealed off going all the way around the box. So this guy's sealed down to the roof, and then it's got a top with a gasket in it that will seal that off. And all of these rubber bungs in the back get sealed off. And you can see we've got a lot of wires going through this thing. You know, here's our wires coming across. Here's the wire for the Starlink Mini, our lights, our awning, our solar panels, everything just going right through there. It comes with a nice assortment of these rubber bungs that you can use for whatever you need. So you can see here just how many wires we have coming down through here. It is a lot of wires. You can see that we cut this conduit off so that it's just a little bit above the level of the ceiling, and then we'll just be able to run all these wires down to the electrical and to the switches and things like that wherever they are. So this is my new favorite way to get multiple wires down through the roof. You can see there's a lot of things with a lot of big fittings on it, fuses, switches, relays, all kinds of things like that on these different lights. And so it makes it really easy to get them all down with that nice 1.5 inch piece of conduit. So hopefully this video helps you if you're trying to figure out how to get all the wires from the roof of your van down inside. 3 different options. Again, I don't recommend that plastic solar gland, but if you just have one cable, this little one is nice. If you've got multiple cables, like 5 or 6, then this one is great. But if you're going big and you're putting a lot of wires down through, then I definitely recommend that big box. If you're a DIY van builder, or even if you're looking at having your own van built by a builder, then we've got tons of videos on the channel about how and why we do things the way we do. We've been doing this now for several years, and we found what we think are the best ways to do a lot of the different things that go into a van build. So we'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Jeff with Thrive Vans, thrive on. See ya.